Good evening. Thank you for joining us. I'm Jeremy Keefe. Earlier today, the RCMP Integrated National Security Enforcement Team in BC arrested a 33-year-old man from Fort St. John and charged him with 3 offenses, each connected to terrorism. Good evening. Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Jeremy Keefe. 93 years and counting. That's how many consecutive editions of the Dawson Creek Exhibition and Stampede the Mile Zero City has had the pleasure of enjoying. The Independent Investigations Organization is examining a fatal case involving the Dawson Creek RCMP. Thursday evening, a man was shot and killed after an altercation with police outside of a local establishment. CJDC's Carissa Wilson has our story. The physician shortage is definitely not a new issue in the Peace region, but what is new is an announcement that was recently made by Northern Health discussing the way services are delivered. CJDC's Faiza Amin reports. With summer ending soon and snow likely not far off, now's the perfect time to explore the community. The Puskupi Museum and Tourism Dawson Creek have partnered up to promote local attractions with their Playtime in the Peace Passport. CJDC's Derek Lightfoot has the details. Well, people often joke that there's 2 seasons in the Peace region, winter and construction. Right now, we're well into the latter, and with that comes announcements for future road projects in the area. CJDC's Derek Lightfoot has those details. Well, it's been 5 days since the BCGEU went on strike, virtually shutting down some of Fort St. John's most important city services. And now, after a full work week, it seems there's no sign of it ending anytime soon. The city says on Thursday they requested their Labor Relations Board mediator reach out to the union to renegotiate, but to their disappointment, the union refused to do so. In a press release this morning, they say they've come to the conclusion that it must be about something more than wages, which was originally cited as the main reason the union hit the picket line. The moment the Mile Zero cruisers and vehicle enthusiasts have been waiting for is finally here, as the summer cruise has just kicked off. Tonight is just a stroll around Dawson Creek, followed by a trip to the Mile Zero campground. A poker rally, barbecue, classic car rally, and more is on tap for Saturday. The Dawson Creek Exhibition and Stampede rolls through the Mile Zero City once a year, and even though more days have been added, many would agree that it feels like it comes and goes as fast as the chuck wagons race around the half-mile track. The Puskupi Fire Department was quite busy this past weekend, but instead of battling blazes, they were commemorating a special milestone. CJDC's Derek Lightfoot reports. There's no doubt that Fort St. John has had some very interesting residents, and because of that, the city's North Peace Museum is hoping to highlight their stories at an upcoming event. But as CJDC's Faiza Amin reports, this event comes on the heels of some recent vandalism. Wednesday's skyline roared with aircrafts for the Fort St. John International Air Show. The evening featured acts by iconic performers as well as newcomers to the region. And as CJDC's Faiza Amin reports, the pilots received a hero's welcome. Well, it might be a little early to start thinking about Christmas, but that's not the case for the Fort St. John Salvation Army. Over the weekend, they jingled all the way to another successful Christmas in July fundraiser. CJDC's Mitch Bach reports. Well, fall is fast approaching, and Fort St. John's Film Society is preparing by deciding what movies to showcase in the city. But as CJDC's Carissa Wilson reports, the organization wants your help. Well, we're going to take a quick break now, but first, here's what's happening where you live in tonight's community events, brought to you by the Dawson Co-op. Thanks for staying with us. Derek Lightfoot is in with sports. Now, Derek, last season the theme in the CFL was kind of the West is the best, right? They were a lot better than the East. That's not the case this season, is it? That's all the time we have for tonight. Please join us again tomorrow night at 6 for a full-hour broadcast, or you can tune in at 11 for a half-hour edition. Good night and all the best.